We've gone live, and Luke is just on his way around to the shotgun seat. Just give us a couple of seconds.
Sorry I'm late, team.
Hey, here he is.
The meeting.
You've been cutting down some more trees.
Yes, I have. I've got my axe out and we're into it.
Yeah, good stuff.
Today a big episode number 2 of the questions we've been asked. And we've got a little bit of a different backdrop today, and with some writing on the wall as well.
More to come later on.
I'll need to set a timer to make sure that we get these done.
Good remembering.
In under 2 minutes, because the people don't want to hear us talking for too long.
I was about to say good remembering Batman, but we never really settled that debate as to who was Batman and who was Robin.
Yeah.
We'll come back to that one.
Okay, maybe we could answer that in another episode.
But if anyone's got any feedback, look, please let us know as to what you think.
Who's Batman and who's Robin? We could probably put a poll in there. Right, we're about to kick in.
Oh, firstly, before we start, just let's tell the people where we are.
Where are we?
We've moved into 96 St George's Bay Road, Parnell, which happens to be the offices of Xero.
Okay.
Yeah.
What are we doing here?
They've got a shared space called Rewired, and we're just giving it a bit of a hoon.
What do you think so far?
It's not bad.
You're
Good facilities.
it?
Yeah, good bunch of people in here, and a lively little wee community, and plenty of people, and it's good to see it's growing.
I noticed there's beers in the fridge and there's no lock on them.
It is dangerous. So far we've shown some pretty good restraint, but I don't know how much longer that will last.
Have we what? No, it is quite a nice community that they're building here, obviously bringing together the tech culture and all sorts of different businesses that are trying to achieve good things for the New Zealand economy, which we like to see.
Yeah, so not only is Xero the coolest accounting software company, but they do some other amazing things like the shared space. They've just announced that wellness and therapy and counselling stuff that's available for small businesses.
Yeah, it's good.
It's just amazing stuff.
They are doing great things in this space, and it's good to be building a business ourselves off the back of what they're doing.
Absolutely.
And having some access to some of their skills and good people.
Yeah.
Speaking of skills and good people, I'm going to put you to the test today with 9 questions, 2 minutes each. We sound like we're on a talk show here, or maybe a game show, but anyway, let's get underway. Question number 1. What is margin? We talked about this previously, margin versus markup, and it seems like it is something that is a little bit confusing for people.
Yeah.
And rightly so, because sometimes it even confuses us, but I think it's very important to get this right.
100%, and the difference between, and again, something we're really quite big on is language, and making sure everyone's clear on the language, and importantly the difference between markup and margin. Both M words,
but very different.
2 very different things.
So margin, I wrote down that it's the difference in the selling price versus the cost price.
Good. Yeah. Look, my calculator's working probably not as fast as yours.
To keep it very simple, and we've done a
little
example on the board, which hopefully you can see here. So if we want a 25% margin on something that's cost $100 to create, we're going to need to sell that at $133.33. Not $125.
No.
Common mistake.
Yeah.
That will give us a 20% margin. This here, so $33.33 divided by 133, we've got our right margin.
Yeah. And not to be confused with markup, which we're coming to in a second.
I should have calculated one that doesn't have any sense.
But hopefully that illustrates the difference, that if you're working on a margin and you've got your numbers around the right way, you should come out at the bottom one here.
Yeah.
And if you're coming up with this one, how much are we giving away?
Yeah. 5%, I think.
Yeah. There's a bit of dollars lost there, and if you're doing hundreds of thousands or millions of dollars in sales, there's lost opportunity there.
A lot of people have surely figured that out by the time they get to selling that much, but it does seem to be something that people confuse a lot, margin versus markup, and
absolutely
wrong. So I guess that leads us into question number 2, which is what is markup? So again, your $100, to mark your $100 up by 25%.
So that's your product cost. So you've bought some stuff and it's cost you $100.
I've got this shirt, it's $100, and I want to mark this up 25%.
Good buy at $100.
Great buy. I'll sign it. That's now 30% markup.
And if it's cost you 100 and you want to mark it up by 25%,
you're going to sell it at 125.
125. Yeah.
But that's only going to leave you with a margin of 20%.
So
Be careful.
mark up 25%, margin at 125,
20%.
20% according to the mathematician.
Gee, I hope I'm right here. You've got my shirt for a bargain.
Yeah, so key difference, check your numbers. We have seen businesses thinking that they're running at a 25% margin, but they've actually worked it out on a markup basis.
Yes, that's right.
And
that's a good way to explain it.
Giving money away.
They think that their margin is realistically what is actually just a markup, right?
Yeah.
We'll try and jot down some examples to make it clearer for people that don't understand via video, nor my purple explanation here, so that they can get a true sense for how it works. And obviously it's so important, like you say, because you can leave so much money on the table and not get it right.
But do us a favour, check your numbers and just make doubly sure. And new financial year, new beginnings.
Bingo. There's never a bad time to try and figure out if you get some of these things wrong.
Yeah.
Right.
Next one.
How can I collect money faster? Gee, that's an exciting one.
Oh, yeah. So where does the money sit, firstly, mate?
Debtors.
Yep.
People
debtors.
that owe us money.
Yeah, and overall, majority of Kiwi businesses pay on time.
Yeah.
Xero, I've got some stats and they've broken it down by regions, and you can get cash generally in the same month that it's due. You get the odd tail end Charlie that likes to be a little bit cheeky every now and again. So what are some strategies that we can put to play to try and get that cash where it belongs?
I love strategy.
In the bank account.
First thing, get rid of this 20-day next month. Oh, I heard it, Fonterra did it, I thought I better do it because I'm in business now. You're a business owner, set your own terms. Figure out what those are and explain those terms to your customer. Don't say, oh, I think it's 20 of the month because I think
that's what everyone else does, so it must be the cool thing to do.
Yeah,
A little hack while you're setting your terms, don't be afraid to ask for a deposit.
Yeah, nice.
So if you've got a chunky bit of work, don't be afraid to ask for 20, 30 or even 50%
people that make
up front.
High-end products like wedding dresses and stuff, very common, 50% before they'll start making it.
Are you in the market, mate?
If I have to sell my shirt, I might have to buy a dress, but we digress. And then of course things like Stripe, go cardless, they're making it so easy for people to collect money via a credit card or upfront, or just give people alternate ways to collect money where it's not waiting for a bank account.
So quickly, Stripe is an online platform where you don't have to be a merchant and go through the merchant process with a bank, so that you can offer credit card payment facilities to your customers. And Go Cardless is a similar platform but for direct debits. You don't have to go to your bank, it's all paperless, easy as you're getting the cash faster.
So if you've ever signed up to a gym, they'll give you a form, say fill this out and they'll direct debit your account each week. You as a business owner can effectively do that, and you can do it through Go Cardless. 2, 1.
And lastly, before we ding, if you get really stuck, look at maybe outsourcing somebody to a debtors clerk, get on the phone and chase those people. Those old-fashioned techniques always work. And lastly, if you get ultra stuck, we know some bloody good people that are chasing for money.
Yeah, Norling Law and 99. If you really get stuck and you're not collecting your money, contact litigation specialists like Norling Law.
Absolutely.
And they'll help you get it.
They will help you out.
Which is probably pushing us into where has my money gone? Well, that's very simple. We've got a minute 30 to explain.
Where's the money gone?
3 places. Well, there's about 1,000 places it can go, but
look,
3 simple ways.
Some of these business owners might be saying it could be their wife or their husband, but
new shirt, new wedding dress, whatever.
Yeah, but look, there's 3 buckets, black holes even that you might call them. But generally they sit on your balance sheet, that little report that a lot of business owners typically shy away from because it can be difficult to read. But it is it's sitting on debt repayment. You're repaying loans.
So I'm paying down my debt. Yep.
You're sucking the money out personally for drawings.
My new shirt.
Yep. And you're reinvesting it.
I'm buying an asset. I'm buying a new calculator to work out how much tax my clients have got to pay faster, so I can use 2 at once.
Yeah, or you're buying a new machine so you can make some shirts like those for yourself.
I see. Yep. Good. So we're either investing in our business, we're paying down debt that we've incurred, or we're using it for drawings, which is me buying more shirts.
Yeah.
Simple. That's it.
That's it. Pretty simple. So if you get stuck and want to know where the cash is, it's on your balance sheet somewhere.
The balance sheet, that's the important piece of that question, is that will show you which of those three the money has flown to.
Yeah, which black hole or basket or bucket or whatever terminology you want to use, where it's gone.
Very simple way, mate. That was outstanding, and even in under 2 minutes too.
Yeah.
Great stuff.
Next one.
Oh, wages versus drawings. So
this one can be a little bit tricky, and it's a question we field on a reasonably regular basis in terms of business owners inquiring with us, what is the right way?
Yeah, I even saw one yesterday. The question was, I should be on wages because it'll look better when I go to sell the business.
Yeah, okay, interesting.
Another business guy was telling me that. I'm like, okay. So you have to be really careful who you're taking your advice from.
Yeah, barroom advice.
Because it can just lead to cluttering your mind about things that aren't even necessarily true or explained well. An experienced business purchaser isn't going to go, wow, you weren't taking a salary through the IRD, therefore. Anyway,
wages versus drawings. There's, in our opinion, I don't think there is a right or wrong answer. It comes down to what works best for the business owner, because it really determines how you live your life, because you need cash to live, pay those family bills, and how do you get it out of the business, and most importantly, make sure that the tax obligations are kept up to date with.
Yeah.
And the way that tax is dealt with is completely different if you're on wages and drawings. I think that's the key takeaway, isn't it?
Yeah, you'll pay tax under drawings. You'll end up paying tax through a shareholder salary, most probably at 3 instalments if you choose that way, through provisional tax. So you need to get your head around how that works, which is really simple once you do get it. Or you pay tax as you go, as PAYE says, and so you'll pay that each month, and you won't have or shouldn't have any further tax to pay because you've paid yourself the appropriate salary, PAYE salary. So, and
a real benefit if you are on a wage and you're a business owner, sign up to KiwiSaver.
Yep.
You get the benefit of the KiwiSaver employer deduction as a tax deduction, so you're getting the benefit for your superannuation, and the company's getting the tax deduction by having to make contributions to your employment scheme.
Very, very good. How do I increase my prices? That's a very good question. Some context to that. How do I go about increasing my prices? So not just how, how should I increase my prices? Because the answer is just we'll put them up, isn't it? But
and it's been an interesting one. We've had a couple examples over, the last 12, 18 months at least, but more recently as minimum wages come through, clients are saying, look, my costs are going up. What do we do to increase prices?
Yeah, and I think...
Or do we just suck it up?
Very simply starting with communicating with your clients.
Yep.
We've made a decision, we're having to increase our prices, and here's what they're going to. If you've got any major queries, we're all ears. I'd say 5% tops would probably be your limit you work to in terms of expecting an inquiry back. I'm just throwing it out there, but I always use the example that if you sold $100,000 worth of sales, stock, service, and you had 50 clients, and you doubled your sales price, and then half of your clients left you, you'd still have the same amount of revenue.
Same amount of revenue, less people to deal with.
Which is a great way to be...
Sometimes can be a great way to be doing business. Yeah.
So, it's an extreme example, but I think sometimes we hesitate to increase price because we think we're going to lose all these clients. The true way to increase your price is to provide more value.
Yeah, I'm pleased you mentioned value.
Money exchanges... I'm glad I took notes. Money exchanges hands when value exceeds price.
Yeah.
I wrote that down from last time, episode 1, where I forgot to say it.
And there's that other saying that price is long forgotten after, but value...
Lasts forever.
Lasts forever.
Love it.
Yeah.
That's good. I don't even know if that's how it finished, but...
But look, it's something along those lines. So, stick to what you're good at and make sure there's value there. And you shouldn't have a problem increasing your prices.
No. Be brave, believe in what you're doing, give value, communicate with your client, get it done, and on to the next one.
What do we got? Do you guys recommend discounting?
I'll let you go, mate. I know this is one of your favourites.
In a word, no. It's not something... for us as business owners that we discount, but in saying that, it is a strategy that if you're in retail, for example, and you've got stock, and if it's old stock and you want to clear that stock out, you're going to need to discount it just to get rid of it, because at the end of the day, that stock is cash sitting on your shelves that you want to get it back into your bank account.
Yeah.
And I think the most important thing is that if you are going to discount, understand your numbers.
Yep.
And the impact of discounting by 2%, 5%, 10%, whatever that number is, what the impact on profitability is going to be to your business.
Yeah.
And we've got a little chart. We'll provide a link to it.
Yep.
Available on our website that you can use for future reference.
Let's get
download it, and it'll help you understand that if you're discounting, if your margins margin, not markup, if your margin is 20% and you discount by 10%, what the impact on your flow through of your numbers is going to be.
Yeah, and I mean, here's a classic example that if we decreased the sales price here, how much that will affect the margin, and we'll give some context to that in the discounting chart that we can put together for everybody to download.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's a...
What are your thoughts on it, mate?
Well, I think with 10 seconds to go, you need to understand what area of the market you're playing with. If you're playing with people that need to be discounted to buy your service, you're not giving them enough value, therefore you've got something to work on yourself, or you need to tailor the way you're delivering your product. But like you said, there are circumstances or areas of business where it's a great strategy to collect money faster, offering a prompt payment discount. It sucks people in, they pay it earlier thinking I'm getting a discount. Well, it's built into the price to start with. Those businesses are too smart to let you beat them.
And the example that we sometimes use is Briscoe's.
Yeah.
You know, they're always got a sale, they're always discounting, so you don't go in there and buy something if it's not on sale, because you know you're being ripped off.
I brought a duvet the other day at full price.
Oh,
what an idiot.
yeah, it's probably on bloody discounted this week, mate.
But the value of that duvet for me in the moment was worth more than waiting for a discount.
Were you cold?
Oh, it was too hot, so I wanted to cool the duvet.
Right.
Anyway, we're chewing up valuable values time.
Values!
What exactly are values? We might have to just use a whole 2 minutes for this. I might pause this. What exactly are values?
Well, mate, before we jumped into this business journey of ours, I didn't really give too much time to values, but I can tell you now that after we sat down and set ours a year and a half ago, it is something that I genuinely believe every business owner should do.
Definitely.
And what you're saying, they're not just
words on a wall.
Yeah.
You know?
It's something that the business owners, it's things that you hold near and dear to yourself, that if you're in a situation and it doesn't sit right with you, you're going to go, oh, gee, I'm uncomfortable. That's your natural in-ground, inbuilt values that are kicking into play there, and when those situations happen, jot down how you feel and some of the words to describe it, and then that will help you flush out what some of your values are if you are struggling.
Yeah, and I mean, we go into a lot of detail of this with clients that we work with in terms of business planning and strategy, and some people will say keep them small to 3, 4, because you need to remember what they are, but behind a value is your story, and it's just as important to be able to explain what that means. So obviously, an example for us, one of our values is genuineness. So we want to be who we are, we want to be genuine with clients, we don't want to have to be turning up pretending we're somebody that we're not.
100%.
And that reflects back to the types of clients that we attract, because they go, you know what, they're good buggers and they're pretty genuine, and they can have a laugh and they can have a beer, and that's a value that's very strong to us. And genuineness might mean something to a different person, but that's the value and the meaning of it for us. So,
and I think if for bigger businesses, or any business in general, if you've got employees, make part of the employee induction process a session on the company values, talking them through what they are, and that everybody in the business can hold anyone accountable to the values. So if you're seeing actions within the business that don't align with the values, call that person out.
Yeah, so hey, look, that's not how we do things here. You know, so they have to be communicated again like anything, and they're a driver for behaviour, and they're like a guiding star.
Yeah, they are. Yeah. That's a good way of putting it.
And when they're conflicted within you, you do get that feeling of like, oh, I don't know how well this sits with me, because usually you're conflicting your values.
Yeah.
Last question. This has gone fast, mate.
It has.
I'll tell you what else is going, what's going slow, that's the upgrades to the IRD.
Yeah.
So they're shutting down for 8 days, is it?
IRD sent out an email about a week ago. I think you overlooked it, but the dates on the email were
The 18th of April to the 26th of April.
no IRD for how many
more.
days?
8 days, is it?
Yeah, no tax.
Yeah, 8. So no, we don't have to pay any tax for 8 days?
Yeah.
Or we just, do the
No, I
dodges?
think looking into it, the little cheeky buggers have said that they'll still accept payments. Surprise, surprise.
Oh, yeah.
But
The
if
bank
you owe
accounts.
them money, apparently you won't be able to email them, you won't be able to call them, you won't be able to look at your stuff online.
Oh,
Yeah.
anything. Wow. Well, I guess the key there is that it's a busy time of year with people starting to talk about accounts, doing their tax returns and provisional tax, terminal tax and GST. If you want to be communicating with the IRD or getting information between the 18th and the 26th, you might struggle.
You will struggle big time. As much as we'd like to think that the IRD is shutting down and there is no tax,
Oh, that would be nice. wouldn't
God, that would be good. But the reality of it is they are upgrading their systems.
it? Yeah, well, that's good.
Yeah, so
things easier.
they're transforming it to make tax a lot simpler for everyone else by putting it all online.
That's good.
Yeah, so
hopefully
automatic refunds apparently can come out now. So
Yeah.
if you've overpaid your tax, you don't need to worry about contacting IRD. They just
That's more
magically.
for PAYE type salary people,
Yeah,
isn't it?
yeah. So they've done a massive. How many years has it taken them?
Oh,
4,
it's been a
5 years,
while.
15, 20
Yeah.
years. A long time.
All offshore, no doubt, outsourced. We don't.
Probably. Who
Yeah.
knows?
Yeah. Anyway, that's boring stuff. Done for another episode.
Done.
That's great.
Jeez,
It's
it
gone
goes by
quick, eh?
super quick.
Yeah.
That 2 minutes on IRD went like a
Yeah.
blink of an eye. I would have thought that could have dragged on, but oh well.
To wrap up, we've covered some good questions there. We'll put some more context around these individually through posts throughout the next month. And if anyone's got any questions, feel free to send them through. We love seeing what people come up with. And
If you've got challenges in business and you want a independent or objective point of view and you got you want some answers, we're pretty good sounding boards.
yeah, yep. Well, we love them. We love to see what comes through. And I
Yeah.
mean, a lot of them are, like I said earlier, through questions or suggestions they've had from other people, and then they're wanting to know, well, what's your opinion on that? And I guess what makes the world great is there's so many different opinions.
There is.
But
Yeah.
you've got to know where to get the right information from.
That's right.
Right, I will end this and we'll carry on for the rest of the day.
Yeah.
And we'll probably be back towards the end of April with episode number 3 with the questions we've been asked. I'll let you finish us off there, mate. See you guys.
Cheerio. Thanks for tuning in. Another great episode. Stay tuned. Keep your eyes on the